Welcome back to the most authoritative hour on TV, and let's get on to some more interesting issues. Now, in the last few months, the nation has been shocked by the increase in cases of rape and defilement. In some cases, the victims are even gang raped. Well, the story is not entirely different today. It will shock you even more. Fresh cases of sexual abuse are now becoming a norm in our schools, with those charged with the responsibility of protecting our young ones the very persons engaged in such acts with them. Now, in the last few days, cases of child sex by school authorities has angered community folks in two towns of the Central and Ashanti regions. We'll start from the Central region, where the regional academic work at Edumenu DA Basic School has been disrupted after video of the head teacher and a pupil having sex went viral. The video, which was likely to have been filmed by the head teacher, reveals the 17-year-old girl giving her consent to the act. The head teacher, Robert Sepe, is currently on the run, and teachers there say they are unable to concentrate on academic work. We'll go to Richard Kojo Nyakon, but in the studio also to narrow down this conversation is Chief Superintendent Owusua Chreme. She is director at the Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit. You're welcome to the studio, and it's good to have you. But we'll start with Kojo Nyakon and also have Prince Apia from the Ashanti region. Let's go to Kojo Nyakon from the Central region now and get some reactions. Good afternoon to you, Kojo Nyakon. All right, so we lost Kojo Nyakon on the line. Do we still have Prince Apia from the Ashanti region?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello, Prince Apia. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Aisha.
So bring us to speed in, with the situation in your region with regards to this issue of rape and defilement.
Yeah, Aisha, this issue you talk about is the relation to Ejusoman Senior High School. This school is in the Ejuso Municipal Assembly, and the information we had a few days ago indicates that some teachers in the school are, in a way, luring the school children and having sex with them in various capacities, especially those who have issues, those who come to school with mobile phones, those who find themselves wanting for doing one thing or the other. Some of the teachers, we are told, try to propose to them. If they don't, then they try to victimize them. So all what you have to do is to accept what the teacher is asking you to do. The information we're getting is that they're having sex with some of the students, and it has been a worry to a lot of people in the community, and even some of the school heads around. That is the information we gather. I must say that since this issue broke up, even teachers, students, we are told some have even stopped schooling because of this particular issue. Parents have decided to take some of the awards from the school because of this particular incident going around. So it's been really a cause to worry, this particular incident, where we are told that some teachers are having sex with the students, possibly in the school.
Well, I'll have you hold and go to Kojo Nyakon, who joins us now on the line. Kojo, tell us about the mood in that town. Exactly how has this video affected the mood of the people? Okay, we lost Kojo Nyakon once again. We'll try and get him back. But Prince, we're told that community members are angered. Exactly how do they want this issue handled?
Yeah, Aisha, obviously, if you're a parent sitting home and you hear that a school where your ward is going every day is, reported to be having teachers sleeping with students, either by force or luring them, it's really a cause to worry. Parents want these teachers brought out, shamed, and possibly let the law find its own cause. And that is what they are demanding. But I should add, Aisha, that because of what this issue has brought, the Municipal Education Directorate and some other stakeholders in the municipality and the region are currently meeting in the school, and we are told they're going to have a press conference in a few minutes' time, and they are going to tell us more about what exactly has happened, what they've gathered so far, and the way forward for this particular case, whether it is true, whether it has come to their notice, whether the teacher is going to be brought forth, whether he's going to be punished, whatever is it they're going to do. That's what we are hearing. Now, the Municipal Education Directorate and other stakeholders are here in the school and about our meeting to bring a closure to this issue.
Well, many thanks to you, Prince Apia, for that update. Let's go back to Kojo Nyako, who joins us via phone. Kojo, I was earlier asking you to bring us up to speed as to how the community is receiving this news. How exactly is this video affecting their mood?
Well, the community is at the moment very calm, unlike yesterday and the previous days when the videos went viral. Now the police have intensified their investigations, and they've been speaking with the lady at the center of this whole controversy. The girl, they give the age 18 years. She was born September 1999, so she's 18. Her name has been given Priscilla Tete, and she's a final year student of Agona Otopin Senior High School. She used to be a pupil of Edumanan Basic School, where the head teacher is. Now, the lady has been mentioning names. She's mentioned 3 names as the people that have been circulating the video. Bright Abdullah Joe, and then one Felix Kram. They are the people that the girl has mentioned.
Hello, Kojo, you're still on the pulse.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the pulse.
Yes.
All right.
Please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Well, so the lady, as of now, has mentioned 3 names, and she submitted a report. She's written her report to the police. They picked her from her school, and she was invited to the District Education Directorate, and she's since been given her statement. Now, the police are done with that, and they are searching for the 3 people whose names have been mentioned by the police. Now,
who are these people who have been mentioned?
The names of the 3 people, the girl has indicated they are responsible for the circulation of the video. The names are Bright Abdullah, 1 Joe, and 1 Felix Kwam. The girl mentioned their names to the police.
Who are they?
They are also they are youth in part of the youth in the community.
Okay. And what has the police been saying so far?
Well, so the girl has written her report, and the police are now searching for the 3 persons whose names have been given them as the people who possibly started the circulation of the videos to the general public. Now, the head teacher, who is also at the center of this whole controversy, is on the run. So it has forced the Education Directorate to make a static supervisor in the district to act as the head in order to provide some leadership for the school, because yesterday, Friday and Thursday, when the video went viral, the teachers' academic activities almost came to a halt because the teachers were also incensed, and their reason was how the matter has been handled. They also say that they are suffering from some finger pointing from the youth. They are accusing them that they have been sleeping with the young girls in the community. And this, apart from this video that has gone, there were some suspicions on the part of the youth. They have been constantly accusing the teachers of sleeping with the young girls in the community. But whenever this issue arises, the teachers would demand evidence that they should give them a proof why they are saying that they've been sleeping with. So when this matter broke, they said that, well, we accused you, and now we found evidence. And so the youth are demanding that the Ghana Education Service should transfer all the teachers in that particular school so that they can bring a new set of teachers to the school. Otherwise, academic activities will continue to suffer, and their children will be in danger because the teachers will still be sleeping with the But the schoolgirl in question has indicated that the head teacher, is her lover. They've been dating for
really?
Quite some time now. It so happened that the video went viral because they all consented to having the sexual activity because it's been going on, and so this is not the first time this has transpired.
So how long have they been dating? Did she say that?
For 3 years. The investigation of what we've been picking from the police and from the community indicated that when the lady was about or completed senior high school, the lady started having some relationship with the teacher, and the parents are aware of this. That is why the parents are not even enthused about what has happened. Their only concern is that the video has gone viral and it might have some consequences on their girl.
So you earlier said opinion leaders and family members seem unperturbed by this development. Of course, you've just explained how her parents are unperturbed, but how so is it to do with the opinion leaders in the community?
Come again.
You earlier said that opinion leaders seem to be unperturbed about the development. And you've just explained that the family of the girl are really not bothered about the relationship and are not even surprised that they're having this kind of affair. But how so is it with the opinion leaders in the community? Well,
the investigation again has indicated that the teacher has been sponsoring their education and part of, the activities of the girl. Whatever. So she's been shouldering a lot of the responsibilities of the girl. So in the town, in the community, they know that they are lovers, and the head teacher is the one that is, taking up a lot of the responsibilities of the girl. And so the opinion leaders are not quite surprised. What they are surprised about is the leaked video, and they are questioning why they should really film the sexual act when it's something uncalled for. And so that is what they frown on. But the act itself, they see it as normal. They are not really perturbed about it.
Right. Many thanks for the update. Richard Kojo Nyako is our Central Regional Correspondent. Now, we will soon hear from the experts. As I told you earlier, the Chief Superintendent Owusu Atreme, Director at DOVVSU, is here with us. But first, let's pick the views of the public.
And I say, teachers who abuse children sexually must be dealt with. They must be either imprisoned or sacked from the schools.
They are spoiling the children's mind because maybe some children, their minds are not on those things. But when the headmasters start making such advances to them, it makes the children like where they've not reached, then they'll start doing some things which are not supposed to be done. Later, maybe they'll be getting pregnant or stuff, and they'll be having abortion. You see, all those things, they are not good. So all those type of headmasters and stuff, they should be removed from the system. Because since they are government workers, they think that they can't fire them, so they do whatever they want. So the government should remove those type of headmasters from the system.
The headmaster no ono no oba wo fie no oja de ba ne to ho na so oba be fo bi ba me ya.
If a headmaster forces a child to sleep with her, he must be dealt with. I personally will not forgive such a person. They mustn't be imprisoned. They must be dealt with in such a way that they regret their act.
Why should a headmaster go and sleep with a student? It's not nice. It's not nice. You're allowed to deal with them.
Some might come from the children, and some also might come from the teachers also. Because when the children are maybe to be like bad influence also counts. Yeah, so now what I can say is maybe they can educate the teachers more how to relate to the children in the school.
Let's broaden the conversation now, and in the studio with me is Chief Superintendent Uswa Treme, Director of the Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit. Good afternoon to you. Good to have you here in the studio. It's become a worrying trend, and people are actually concerned about the growing spate of sexual violence, and it's become necessary for all of us to believe that rape, defilement, sexual violence has been on the rise. But you are from DOVVSU. What is the real situation?
Thank you very much. Let me take this opportunity to say good afternoon to your cherished viewers. The issue of sexual violence in schools are on the increase, mainly because we go out to the schools and then we educate the students, the pupils, on the need for them to report these violence. So in times gone by, we're not hearing about them because one, they didn't know where to go to, and two, they were afraid that if they should report to parents or to the police, they might be judged. But these days, because we go to the schools to do public sensitization, we have a lot of them being empowered to come out to talk about it. So it could be one of the...
Have you done an extensive research on what is accounting for this trend, and even where the rise is? Whether we know that Central Region has been tagged as the highest in this kind of event, but what does your figures show?
We have not done scientific research, but we do know that we have cases that come in from schools. Sometimes head teachers come to us and report cases of sexual abuse in their schools. We have not done scientific research for us to conclusively say that in this region we have high rates of teachers abusing their children. But for now, what we do know is that we have cases coming from schools, and even if it's one or two cases, it's still a serious case, because then it goes a long way to affect the psychological, the psychology of the student, and it can affect his or her academic performance.
Okay, so what is accounting for some of these, the increase in sexual violence?
I think it's basically easy targets and lack of self-control on the parts of some of the teachers. Okay. And it then comes to mind how we recruit our teachers in the classrooms. It's also important. I don't know what process they go through, but there's a need for us to look at that area. Who do we put in the classroom to take care of our kids that we hand over during school hours?
Well, in this case of the Central Region, where we're told the girl is 18, but we're told the relationship started when she was about 15, you can tell that the girl herself, and that's what we're hearing from the parents, that she has given the consent, and that's why her parents are not even worried about it. We know about the perpetrators who sometimes cannot control their sexual libidos and all of that. How about these girls who also consent to some of these things? Do they do it willingly, or what have you gathered? Is it from pressure or probably poverty, or what?
Naturally, so far, what we have picked on the ground is that because of power and control, for instance, if you are a pupil under a teacher and the teacher begins to intimidate you or harass you, the fear of you, if you don't agree to it, the person might mark you back down, or might do something to you, punish you, or decide to harass you in any way or embarrass you before the class. So because of the power and control, it's difficult for students or pupils to stand up and say no to the teachers. That is why there's a need for us to empower our children when they go to school. Parents have responsibilities as to how to educate their children to say no and be assertive about it.
But see, this is becoming very alarming, even than we thought before, coupled with the fact that usually we do not see an end to this matter. I mean, the fact that perpetrators are not punished or they are not brought to book is a very alarming issue, which probably is contributing to the increase?
Oh, let me correct this one. So far, we've had teachers who've been jailed. I don't have the statistics here. But once it is reported to the police, we take them through the normal procedure in terms of investigations. So if it is defilement, we look for evidence. If it's rape, we look for evidence and then put them before court, and then the court process takes over. So unless probably cases are like, there are some students or people who will not report the cases, and in that case maybe it's at the blind side of the police. But where they are not even reported and we get wing of it, we follow. For instance, in this central region case, it was the police that chanced on the video, and then we started our investigations. It wasn't the students, or it wasn't the head teacher or somebody who went to the police station to complain about anything.
And if you're doing all of these, why are we still seeing the increase? Do you have an idea?
That's why I'm saying that people are empowered now to talk about defilement and rape and harassment in schools. Times gone by, when we were younger, I'm sure probably you might have heard about 1 or 2 instances where a teacher might have sexually abused a people. But because those times the media was not as vibrant as it is today, it would be difficult for it to go beyond the very locality. So now the media is everywhere, so it's easy to pick it up. So when these things happen, we are able to pick it from all angles. So because the media hypes it, it's easier for people to get to know. So probably to some extent, we might get the impression that it's on the increase, but maybe it's been there, in times gone by, but because we didn't give it that publicity, it seemed like now we're getting the publicity, so it's on the increase.
But there have been accusations that, for instance, DOVVSU, when some of these issues are reported to you, sometimes you get a lot of people distracting you. If it's the perpetrator coming to, cool you down and then make the case a foolish case and all of that. It's alleged that that's what happens, and so a lot of people don't even get the edge, because they're like, when they get to DOVVSU, they won't really get any results.
It's unfortunate that people think the way they think, but the pressure is not normally on them to settle the case outside the police station. And because the victims and their family also have a certain need, they tend to succumb to such pressure, and then they begin to frustrate the police. Within DOVVSU, in the Ghana Police Service as a whole, we are not allowed to do certain things. We have our code of conduct, and settling criminal matters is not one of them. We cannot do settlement of criminal matters. So if they come to you as a police and you allow a civilian to convince you to settle them, it's a disciplinary issue. Okay. And when you are reported, action will be taken against you.
We have had to deal with issues of some of the regions that do not have DOVVSU units, and therefore do not know how to handle such matters. And so people think that, yes, because they don't have the expertise to handle such matters, even when we report to them, we don't see an end to the matter. Are you aware of this problem?
This is why the police administration has taken it upon itself that in areas to give district commanders and crime officers and divisional crime officers the know-how as to how to handle issues of domestic violence. Recently, the U.S. Embassy and UNFPA assisted the police administration to train over 34 police personnel, divisional commanders and crime officers who are not DOVVSU personnel, as to how to handle, receive and handle domestic violence cases. So there are internal mechanisms to ensure that every police personnel has what it takes to handle or to take up domestic violence cases, rape cases, defilement and all that. And there are, we have curriculums at the training schools, all the training schools, the academy and the training school itself, where we have lecturers who take them through domestic violence what domestic violence about the laws, so that we can equip people who are coming into the system, the police service, new people, recruits, we can catch them young, and those who are already there too, we take them through in-service training for them to be abreast with how to handle domestic violence.
So are you saying that once I'm a police personnel or I'm a police officer, I should be able to deal with issues involving some of these issues?
Yes, because there are internal training. Internal trainings are ongoing to help every police officer to first and foremost receive the complaint, because what is important is the first reaction of the police. Our first reaction can send the person back and not want to come back again to the police station to follow up on whatever case they brought to. So the first reaction is to get each and every police officer how to receive it and immediately offer the needed assistance. And then if there is a DOVVSU office nearby, we can just transfer the case to DOVVSU for DOVVSU to take it up. So the initial one is to take up the case, how to handle it when it's a rape, defilement, how to maybe even take initial statements from somebody who is traumatized. We're giving that training for all officers so that it won't be like wait until a DOVVSU officer travels from wherever to the scene or to that police station to take up.
Because the allegation has been that mostly is these people who are not trained but who are also police officers are the ones who normally will take bribe or some sort of consideration from probably mostly the perpetrators, and then start making the case a foolish one. And so the victim comes in and they're like, go, come tomorrow, come the next day, until they get frustrated and decide to give up.
That's what I'm saying, that there's ongoing training, trying to educate all the police personnel across board as to how to handle these cases. Now, the gap here is then if you still have training and you still go ahead and misconduct yourself, that's why we have internal disciplinary action. So the victim can report to another police personnel, go to another police station, or look for a DOVVSU office and then get in touch with the DOVVSU office, or go to whoever is misconducting himself or herself, go to the superior and report it, and the superior officer will take action against that person and refer the case to the appropriate person to investigate.
I'm glad that you've accepted and you've acknowledged that indeed it's a huge issue we should deal with. But what's the plan to deal with this matter and also protect these vulnerable ones?
I think it's we have to look at it from a broader perspective, from GES level angle, from parents and from the students and pupils as well. For GES, I don't know what their recruitment entails, so I'm not going to go there. But for me, as an expert coming from the police angle, we have to, apart from maybe the normal educational certificates in terms of qualification, we have to also look at character. Who do we put there? Is there a way that GES will check who they recruit as a teacher? Is it just based on academic qualification, or they go beyond academic qualification? And then for parents, they need to educate their children and tell them that it is not all right for your teacher to touch your body, and that anytime your teacher touches your body, whether female or male, you should report when you get home. And then parents too should also monitor their children. They should be interested in the academic work. They should be interested in what their children do at school. If Monday to Friday you are busy, you are unable to interact with your child for whatever reason, at least make time over the weekends. Sundays after church, you can sit down with your children and talk about school, and then also monitor your children. Sometimes there are children who are very active at home and at school, and all of a sudden they become dull. You need to find out why, because maybe there is fear. And then you also need to teach your child to be very bold and assertive. It is something that most parents don't talk about it, because they feel that in Ghana, when you are assertive, you are a rude person. So we need to look at all those things. We also need to talk about the body parts with our children. as much as it's so uncomfortable, I mean, these things have worked years back. When we were growing up, it was okay not to talk about these things. But now times have changed, and we need to change the way we interact with our kids. So there's a need for us to talk to our kids about the body parts. We need to let them know that there are certain parts of the body that are private, that nobody must go there, and that anybody who wants to go there, it's a no-no for that person, apart from a doctor who will have to examine your private part, your vagina, your penis and all that. If it's a doctor, he's doing that because he needs to help you in a medical way. But aside that, we should let them know that anybody who wants to touch your private part is a no-no. Then it will help us.
Okay, so and at the DOVVSU level, what is the plan?
DOVVSU level, we still continue with public sensitization. This year, it is still on our work plan to get to a lot of schools to educate the children what to do, what not to do, and also to carry the message across to the children that the fact that we tell you don't do this, don't do that to protect yourself does not mean that when you do it, you cause it. We also try, because it's very easy for people to misunderstand that when they tell you that don't work in a dark place, or don't find yourself in, don't move with maybe bad company or bad boys, and then you end up with them for whatever reason, then you cause the rape or the defilement. No, what we try to tell them that these are just guidelines to prevent rape or defilement. But if the unfortunate situation happens and you are defiled or you are raped, it is not your fault. Some people will say, for instance, parents might tell their children, don't wear mini skirts, don't wear this, because if you do, you're exposing your body part. These are moral issues that you want to talk about with your kids because that's what you believe in. That's okay. But then you should also tell your child that the fact that you are wearing mini skirts does not mean that somebody should rape you. So you need to let them know that, so that when they are raped, for instance, if for whatever reason, I'm just using mini skirts as an example. Okay. If for whatever reason they wear mini skirts and they are raped, they'll be confident enough to come out and talk about it, so that they will not think that, oh, I've been raped because I wore mini skirts.
Okay. But the people who feel that your strategies over the years may not be helping, or probably have not really achieved what we're looking for, have you thought of changing your strategies?
We have a lot of things on the drawing board. Today we met with some personalities as to how to strategize the way forward. So I cannot put it out now because it's still on the drawing board. So we are looking at other ways to catch the attention of the youth, to educate the youth through other means. So now we're going to go beyond just going to the school to do public education. We're going to find a way to use social media, print media and electronic media to get to the target group. So we are going to change our strategy.
Okay, but how is your collaboration with, especially with the Ministry of Gender and Children, Ministry of Children and Gender Protection?
Okay, what we do is that we do a lot of collaboration. We do training together. They also assist us in various ways in terms of logistics, and then policy level. We do a lot of input for policies that come out. They also assist us. For instance, it's also a source of reporting. So people normally will petition them, and then they will send a petition to our office, and then we'll take it up from there.
Okay, and so do you think it's strong because people feel that it is often not well collaborated, and that's why probably we're still seeing increasing figures of some of these issues?
I don't understand the question in terms of
your collaboration with the ministry. They feel that the collaboration is not strong,
why,
and that's why we are
think
still having some of these issues.
I don't think so, because we've worked with the Ministry of Gender over the years. So I don't think this is not stronger. We are.
Do you have challenges
with the Ministry of Gender?
With your collaboration with?
No, we don't have challenges.
Ministry of Gender. I know you collaborate with other.
We don't have challenges. We don't have challenges. We have protocols by which we, interact. Yes, we interact. So there are no issues. No.
Okay. There have been calls that some parts of our laws dealing with these issues must be amended to be able to achieve the bigger goal that we're all looking for. Example is the fact that the punishment for such perpetrators, people think are very tiny or need to be toughened, to be made harsher so that it can deter other people. What's your position on this call?
Well, you know, punishment is not the only way to deter people, because, for instance, I normally make the argument that murder, for instance, the capital is a capital punishment. The punishment is capital punishment. That means death. But people still commit murder anyway. So it's not only about how we can advocate for the law to be changed to make it stiffer. Now it's 25 years maximum for both defilement and rape. We can maybe advocate and say life imprisonment or 50 years. And the question is, when it's life imprisonment and 50 years, would it have any impact on the perpetrators? So now, for me, I think we shouldn't just look at the punishment, but also look at sensitization, how to sensitize people and try to get them away from committing such crime. It is very important. We can always advocate for the laws to be changed and stiffer punishment given, but the question is, will it be the end? I mean, so it means then for that we have to wait for the offense to be committed and then jail the person. Then it serves as a deterrent. Yes, it is. To some extent, punishment, imprisonment serves as a deterrent. But in some cases, what about those who don't care? What do we do to them? Those who are not, because there are people who are released from prison today, and the following day they're going to commit the same crime and then sent back to prison. So
it's very interesting, and of course it's obvious that DOVVSU has come a long way from the Waju Renew to I think there's been some improvement, but it looks like the communities, I mean the whole country wants more, because some of these issues are very delicate issues. What should we look out for from DOVVSU this year?
This year, we're going to do a lot of public sensitization. We're going to educate a lot of people about the law, what constitutes domestic violence, what to do when you find yourself in certain situations, and also who to report to. And if you report to police, whether DOVVSU or any of the police station, and you have frustrations, who do you turn to? These are some of the things that we are going to talk about, because there are a lot of people who don't even know that there are laws that, you know, certain acts of theirs are offense.
Okay, so who do you turn to in certain such situations that you're being frustrated by the DOVVSU officials or by the police officers?
So for instance, if you are in Accra region and you are being frustrated by a detective, a police investigator, you can go straight to the station officer, or if it's a station officer who is frustrating, you can go to the regional coordinator or her deputy. And if you are in Accra and then you have a problem, you can also get in touch with us at the National Secretariat. And because we have the tentacles, we can reach everywhere. And then we will just call straight to whoever is misconducting himself, and then we'll take it up.
So you heard Chief Superintendent Owusua Shreme. She's director at DOVVSU, and she says if you are encountering any frustration at any of the DOVVSU offices or any from any police officer, you can report to his or her superior so that they can deal with the matter at hand. Thank you very much for coming. It's been wonderful talking to you, and you're still on the pulse.